Welcome to the Daily Devo. My name is Diana. Today we are talking about choosing to look and praying for the new. We all have choices in life. We get to choose what to believe, for example. Many of us get to choose how we spend our time and our resources. Choices are decisions that we get to make. Have you ever chosen to change or to adjust your perspective? A simple example could be when you think of going to that familiar place, you may think it's going to be boring, but you can choose to see it that way, or you can choose to adjust your perspective. You could choose to view it through a lens of gratitude for the opportunity, or you could choose to view it through the lens of being a learner, to look for something new in that familiar place. Or you could choose to view it through this lens and perspective of prayer, to look for ways to join God in this new present moment right now today. Well, we're going to look at a different choice in relationship that the Bible talks about. Let's listen today, and we're going to find it in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 17 and 18. It says this. It says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here. All of this is from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation." Paul, he's talking to people who have chosen to receive by faith the gift of salvation that Jesus Christ offers. And that is this restored relationship with God through Christ. And he says that believers in Jesus Christ are new creations. They have been fully forgiven by God. They have been fully adopted by God, and so much more. Today, in your relationship with other believers, I wonder what would happen if you choose to remember that they too are a new creation in Christ. I wonder what would happen if you choose to believe that God is inviting them to follow him, that God is inviting them to be transformed more and more into the fullness of their new identity in Christ. I wonder if in your relationships you choose to take a view of that believer, of that other person, to see them as a new creation, not stuck as the old person who they were, holding it against them. Why does this matter to us? Well, it can help us to grow, to see things from God's perspective. We can start to notice with gratitude the small, subtle changes and growth in the other person as they grow into Christ's likeness. We can start to notice with hope that God will always be at work in them. He's always going to place before them this invitation to take the next step of growth with him. Now, of course, they may deny it, but that the invitation will always be before them. We can also start to notice with prayer ways that we can echo the perspective and character of God to that person. Does that make sense? Are you with me? How we view someone, it matters. If the other person in our relationships are believers, they too are a new creation in Christ. They too are always being invited to follow Jesus, to always be transformed more and more into his image. So what if we ask God to help us view other people the way that he sees them? What if we ask God to remind us of the new he's doing in them? Give it a try and see what you discover this week. Blessings.